So Autodesk just announced it's firing 1,000 workers. Guys, that's 7% of their global workforce. And why? You guessed it, they are allocating more and more funds to AI. But the real story here is who is being laid off, and it's not exactly who you might expect. And we'll get to that in just a moment. I want to share the thoughts from the CEO, Andrew Anagnost's press release. And he mentioned that there's 3 reasons that they're focused on this layoff. So first of which is they want to complete their go-to-market transformation. They want to 2, strengthen corporate functions, and 3, expand their AI platform and industry cloud leadership. And he says, quote, "We've built a strong foundation across our industry cloud platform and AI, positioning Autodesk to deliver more connected, intelligent, and valuable solutions. As we move into the next phase of executing our strategy, we're reinvesting in and scaling these capabilities to unlock greater customer value and support long-term growth." So we've seen this before, guys. It's kind of shocking how many people don't see this. But if you've been following the channel, if you're subscribed to the channel, you'll realize that companies are consistently laying off employees for greater efficiency, cost savings, and reallocating into AI. Guys, I feel like I'm sometimes screaming at the clouds. These companies are investing hundreds of billions of dollars into AI. They are really going to put all their efforts into making it happen. And of course, the stock market responded with a 3% bump in their stock. So the industry said, hey, you're going all in on AI, you're cleaning up shop, trimming the fat, we're going to bet on you. And again, what's really interesting here is who is being laid off. And I think there's a lot of implications for careers across sectors. Now, if you haven't heard of Autodesk before, they are a design software creator, and they offer tools to movies and game development studios, specifically around visual effects and 3D animation. You may have heard of AutoCAD. AutoCAD is one of their most popular softwares. So again, big company, thousands and thousands of employees, but man, knocking off 7%, over 1,000 employees is, in my opinion, a big deal. And again, it's really about who's being laid off. And it's not who I originally expected with the core product development and software engineering teams. Those teams are essentially going to be safe. They're going to be retained. Who's being laid off? It's primarily the customer-facing sales teams and customer experience teams. And this is interesting to me because these are some of the jobs that felt kind of safe, these customer-facing roles. But what we see from Autodesk is kind of illuminating as to if you're in a sales role, if you're in a customer-facing role, how to navigate this, because there are some important lessons here. So Autodesk is shifting to a more SaaS-style subscription-based model and moving away from the traditional sales model. They really want to focus on digital-first, self-serve, and platform-led sales. And I will say, I've been kind of covering this because I've been working with an organization to clean up their marketing and sales team's effort. We have found that when we're running paid media and paid traffic and through either a sales-led funnel, a sales team-led funnel, or a product-led funnel with digital conversions, the digital conversions have converted 10x more effectively than the sales team. And I'm not here to say that sales teams are screwed, they're dead. If you're in sales, give up. No, I'm not saying that, but there are some things you need to keep in mind. There are some things you really need to keep in mind, not just from my own personal anecdotes and my personal experiences, but also when we look at where the industry is going as a whole. And so let's let's double click on that thought here, because I think it's really important to kind of understand how you can remain valuable. So the roles most at risk across industries, we're looking at sales ops, program managers, customer success managers that are non-enterprise, marketing operations, business analysts that are focused on reporting versus decision making. And because the reality is, these roles, here's the deal. If you're in sales, you need to be selling high ticket items. If you're selling anything for less than $1,000, companies are going to start and have already started trying to allocate more resources to these digital-led conversion funnels. I got to say, I appreciate as someone who's leader of about a dozen, 2 dozen people, I really appreciate dealing with digital algorithms and conversion metrics. It's so much more reliable. Trying to get your sales team, your customer success team to click the right buttons, to use the CRM, to understand, to churn out one sales guy and to bring in another sales guy. It is so exhausting to try to manage that. It's very, very difficult. It's a full-time job in and of itself just to get people to click the right buttons and to do the right things. However, if I know that I can drop a certain, it's just a math equation if you're using these digital AI-driven conversions. It's a math game, right? I know that if I spend $1,000 a month, I'll get 500 leads into my funnel. A certain percentage of them are going to convert into a sign up. A certain percentage of them are actually going to put in their credit card and purchase. And then it becomes just a numbers game. And again, in fact, at least in the teams that I'm working with, we're finding that those types of product-led sales funnels are way more effective than sending people into a demo or a sales sequence. They're just more effective, like 10 to 20x more impactful. We also, by the way, have found that influencer marketing has been very successful in conversions. And then, again, we have all these automations for abandoned carts or churn traffic. And instead of having our sales guys chase these guys down, we just have all the automations, the emails, text, SMS, that is running the capture. And the reality here is that the better AI gets, the more effective these tools are going to be. I mean, I had kind of covered this in a video a little while ago. I'll post a link to it here, and I mentioned this guy a few times, but a friend of mine who runs an auto mechanic office is using AI chatbots, AI voice chatbots to manage their after hours calls. And at this point, he says that it's responsible for about 15 to 20% of the appointments in their mechanic shop. So again, we're looking at something here that is really revolutionary in a lot of ways and certainly impacting sales and customer service roles. If you're in one of these roles, this is what I would say. You need to be focused on proving your value. I think that a lot of companies like Autodesk here are starting to realize that they've overhired. There's a lot of bloat. And they're streamlining. And there's a good chance, I think, that Autodesk will end up hiring some of these people back. We've talked about in this past, there's a good chance that they're going to hire people back, not as W-2 employees, but as 1099 independent contractors. So you're going to have to navigate that. But without going off on a tangent on how to survive as a 1099 and some of the tax benefits and some of the things that you have to navigate there, I will say this. It's really, really vitally important that you're able to, at least on a weekly basis, as a salesperson, show this is the result that I got, period. I think that, at least in my experience, there's too many people that say, it feels like I'm doing this, or I can't tell you how many calls I've gotten on with sales team members when they say like, oh yeah, I got on a bunch of calls and I mentioned it and I was able to close some calls. It's like, okay, how many meetings do you get on? Well, it felt like about 10. Are you sure that's the number? Are you reporting? Are you logging? Are you keeping track of your numbers? We're moving. I'm trying to kind of keep this not too advanced here, but as someone in a leadership position, I can tell you what leaders are looking at. And as I work with people that are operating at a higher level, it becomes a math problem. All the feels like, all the I did this, I did that. If you don't have an actual number, if you don't have a conversion metric, it doesn't really matter. So if you're in a sales role, I think that's the most important to think about is how many conversions did I get? How am I able to track the lifetime value of that conversion? Am I more expensive than running leads through an AI software? And if the answer to any of those is no, the AI software is more effective, your neck is on the line. It's going to come down to relationships. It's going to come down to the high ticket sales. Because at least in my experience, those high ticket enterprise B2B sales, those are places where the AI is going to have a hard time getting things over the hump. That's where your value is going to be. But if you're selling stuff like $50 a month softwares. If you're doing customer experience stuff like that, that is a very dangerous place to be. It's a really good time to worry about, hey, how do I level up so that I can be relevant in companies like Autodesk? And to kind of bring this around full circle, here's what's going to happen. Autodesk and other companies, but Autodesk, as we've seen today, is really leaning into this idea that we want to eliminate expensive, inconsistent humans from our math equation. They're less predictable than just leveraging AI and tracking software, UTM parameters. The math there between customer acquisition cost and return on investment, return on ad spend, lifetime value, coupon redemptions, all this stuff, churn ratios, all this stuff can be calculated. And when you're looking at it as a math equation, humans are very complicated and difficult. So here's the point I'm trying to make. Autodesk is running what I would consider a pretty big experiment here, okay? And if they are successful, you're gonna see a lot of other companies start to copy that model. We're already seeing it. It's going to really lean in. And we saw this at Salesforce, we saw this at Klarna. It's not always gonna be perfect, and they will hire people back. We don't know exactly where this is going, but what we can say is that companies are making hypotheses, scientific bets, betting on metrics, conversions, and where do humans fall into that? It's up to you to not only execute, but to actually be able to prove that you're able to execute. So anyway, really interesting story here today, guys. And I hope you walk away with this with some lessons. Just try to understand your value in this equation to all my salespeople out there, all my customer experience people out there. If you're not able to show that you are a profit center, the value that you add from a purely numeric mathematical standpoint, you are at risk. This is the way that big corporations and successful business owners think. They think about it as a math equation. All right. So anyway, if you like today's video, guys, make sure you give it the thumbs up. You can subscribe to my newsletter, AIupdate.ai. It's completely free. Tons of strategies there so you can remain relevant, respected, and financially free. And if you like today's video, you will definitely love yesterday's video where we talk about Amazon laying off 14,000 people and they are not done. Check it out right here. These are not warehouse workers that are being replaced by robots. These are corporate workers, corporate white-collar office workers that are being laid off, similarly to what we're seeing at Autodesk. Check it out right here. See you there, boys. Peace.